You ever wonder why the heat keeps finding you even when you've done everything right, or why every time you start to stabilize, something comes along to shake your peace, test your patience, or press you in the very place you thought you've healed? Listen, fire doesn't chase the disposable. It seeks the durable. And when God calls you chosen, he signs your life up for a kind of pressure that doesn't destroy, it defines. You can run from people, from places, from patterns, but you cannot outrun the refining. The moment your spirit outgrows your environment, the temperature shifts. Everything that can't survive where you're headed will begin to swarm. People will misread your stillness as pride. Opportunities will vanish that were never meant to feed your destiny. And doors that once opened easily will suddenly lock. Not to punish you, but to purify you. You see, God doesn't test your strength to humiliate you, He tests it to reveal what's already built inside. You prayed for purpose, didn't you? You asked for clarity, didn't you? You said, God, use me. And now the refining begins, not through applause, but through resistance. Fire is never gentle. It doesn't negotiate with what's fake. It exposes it. It burns off what doesn't belong so your true self can breathe. And that's why the heat keeps finding you, because the version of you that can carry your next level hasn't been fully born yet. She's still being shaped in the flame. He's still being proven in the press. And God is making sure that when you step into what's yours, you won't fumble it through fear or false attachment. Chosen ones, don't get to skip the furnace. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. And the heat, that's not destruction, it's confirmation, because only gold is tested in fire. Every chosen one has a Judas. And not because you're cursed, but because betrayal is the classroom where discernment graduates into wisdom. You don't really learn people when they're clapping, you learn them when they're conflicted about your glow. You learn them when your name carries favor, when your silence starts exposing their motives, when your growth makes them uncomfortable. The furnace of betrayal is where God removes your dependency on validation. He lets the ones you trusted mishandle you, not to harden your heart, but to train it, to teach you the difference between connection and convenience, between loyalty and leverage. You see, some people were never assigned to love you. They were assigned to reveal you, and you wouldn't have seen their spirit without the sting. Pain is the x ray that exposes motives. So when you look back, stop saying they broke me. No, they unveiled you. They revealed where your worth was still tied to who accepted you. They showed you where your peace depended on being understood. And they taught you the sacred art of silence, the power of letting God handle the narrative. The furnace of betrayal doesn't just remove people, it refines your posture. You stop chasing closure and start protecting composure. You stop proving you're genuine and start being selective about where your genuineness goes. When you come out of that kind of fire, you carry a glow that can't be replicated. Your eyes stop begging, your soul stops negotiating, and your faith starts standing taller than your emotions. The furnace was never meant to kill you. It was meant to burn away the version of you that needed to be light to feel valuable. And if you're in that fire now, where the people you helped have turned quiet, where the ones you prayed for pretend not to see your prayers manifesting, understand this. You are not losing people, you're losing illusions. And the truth will always cost you something before it crowns you. There's a moment in every chosen one's journey where God takes your words, not your ability to speak, but your desire to explain. You'll try to post something and he'll stop you. You'll want to call someone to defend your name and he'll say, no, let me handle it. You'll feel ready to clear the air and he'll give you peace instead of permission. That's when silence becomes fire, because silence in the chosen isn't emptiness, it's combustion. It's the internal refining of thoughts, emotions, and discernment until your spirit becomes your loudest voice. God hides you when He's heeding you. He'll let you feel unseen so He can rebuild your vision. He'll let your name fall out of certain conversations so He can write it into divine ones. He'll let your phone go silent, not because you're forgotten, but because you're being fine tuned. The chosen aren't called to prove, they're called to prepare. And silence is the forge. It's the space where offense melts into obedience, where pain becomes perspective, where restraint becomes revelation. Don't confuse inactivity with insignificance. The seed doesn't stop being powerful just because it's underground. It's in the dark, but it grows roots. That's your right now, buried. That's you. Not buried alive. You're hidden, but not abandoned. You're heeding, not breaking. When your silence starts to burn louder than your words, that's how you know the transformation has begun. You stop needing to be right. You just start being refined. There's a sacred sound that only comes after something inside you has died, the sound of surrender, the sound of, God, even if I never get it back, I'll still serve you. That's the language of ashes. It's what's left when the fire finishes its work, but the spirit keeps standing. You can always recognize a soul that's walked through real fire. They move differently, they speak slower, they love cleaner, they discern quicker, and they don't romanticize suffering, but they respect it. Because suffering taught them what applause couldn't. Suffering stripped them of the illusion of control. Suffering introduced them to the God that comfort doesn't reveal. Chosen ones carry resurrection energy because they've already died in ways most people fear. They've died to approval. They've died to shallow ambition. They've died to the need to be seen before they're ready. The ashes tell the story the ego wouldn't never confess. That sometimes the fire wasn't your enemy, it was your emancipation. That sometimes the breakdown was the doorway. That sometimes what you lost was the weight that was slowing you down. When the ashes start speaking, they don't glorify the pain, they glorify the purpose that was hidden inside it. Tempering is what separates survivors from leaders. It's the moment when the fire has burnt everything temporary and only truth remains. Tempering means God is teaching you control, not to silence your power, but to mature it. You can't be easily provoked anymore. You don't clap back, you move back. You don't chase validation, you embody it. Tempering happens when you stop seeing fire as punishment and start seeing it as partnership. You realize God isn't doing it to you, He's doing it with you. It's the refinement of reaction, the stillness before the strike, the discernment that says, I could speak, but I'll wait. The word the whole world will call it restraint. Heaven calls it readiness. And after you've been tempered, you walk differently. You forgive quicker. You see clearer. You no longer confuse noise for favor or attention for anointing. You move on divine instruction, not emotional impulse. Tempering gives you peace that doesn't depend on people and clarity that doesn't need confirmation. That's when you realize you're no longer in the fire, you are the fire. When chosen ones rise from the flames, they don't look like what they survived. They move with quiet confidence, a rhythm of wisdom that doesn't need to explain its scars. They glow not because life got easier, but because their spirit learned endurance. The glow after the fire isn't arrogance, it's evidence, proof that refinement worked, proof that betrayal didn't break you, and proof that the waiting didn't waste you. You see, some people shine from spotlight, others shine from survival. You're the latter. You didn't just endure heat, you learned how to generate your own light from it. And now, when storms come, you don't panic. You understand that fire doesn't destroy what's divine, It only exposes what's not built to last. You are living proof that God can only build something unshakable out of ashes. You've been through humiliation, heartbreak, false accusation, betrayal, and silence, and still your spirit didn't fold. You've been refined, not ruined. The glow after the fire isn't about showing off, it's about showing up. It's about walking into rooms that used to intimidate you and realizing your peace now holds the authority. It's about being trusted with platforms you don't idolize. It's about leading from authenticity, not ego. You are no longer who you were before the fire because you are tempered. You've been tested and you're now true. And from this moment forward, let every step you take radiate that quiet power that only comes from surviving divine heat. You're not burned, you're branded. Not weakened, you're weaponized. Not bitter, you're blazing. You are refined by fire, and that glow, that's heaven's reflection. Stay covered, stay conscious, and stay undefeated. See you on the next one.